We are live, Couples United. How you guys doing? It's the Love Month. We hanging out with some of our favorite couples all around the world. How you guys?
Hey, Brittany and Marquise, thanks for joining us this evening.
How you guys doing?
United, Brittany and Marquise.
Ronnie and Venus.
Ronnie, hang out. What's up? Weird Science.
Fun.
Weird Science. Fun, weird science.
Yes.
Y'all, Linda, how you doing,
Hey, good. How about you? Well, you guys seem like you having fun. Y'all done got the Valentine's Day started early.
Well, we are at my dad's 70th birthday, so we flew to Baltimore, and we got stuck at this restaurant. But it's a black-owned, out-of-the new soul food, modern soul food spot. But anyway, we had to be on the Wi-Fi to keep the stream going, and it happens from my computer. So if it's a little loud back here, we're supporting black-owned business.
No, we can hear you guys. This sounds great. We can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me good.
Yeah.
Pastor Stephen Thurston, how you doing this evening?
Good to see everybody.
And the Kingmaker.
The Kingmaker.
Oh, nice shirt.
Yes.
Nice shirt.
Hey.
Yeah.
Look, this is not good for a girl.
So y'all get y'all work on workout on tonight.
Yeah, we're liking those shirts too. We're doing pre-orders, pre-sales on the shirts.
All about the dollar. All about the dollar.
If this is your first time Couples United, we are live. We meet once online and then once in person if you're in the Atlanta area. And this is where we just connect with couples. And this year we changed the name. It used to be Couples United if you just tuned in, but it's now, it used to be Couples 412, but now it's Couples United. And where we see you. Basically, we see you as a woman, and we see you as a man, and then we see y'all together, how we make this thing work. The positivity of coupleism. That's my new word. Coupleism for tonight.
The marriage challenge that we've been posting on our Instagram. We got it from one of our partners, and we've been trying to implement it every day.
Fella, she got it, and then she started just saying these 7 things on it. She's like, "What's 3 things you like about my hair?"
Right.
She put me in the challenge. She put me in the couples challenge. Anyway, just speaking of challenges, look, I'm gonna tell you who we hanging out with. We hanging out with my mom and my dad.
Hey, mom and dad. Hey.
Couples life. They've been married how long?
We've been married 44 years, so it's
awesome.
And my uncle and his wife. And they've been married.
Hey.
39.5 years. Love is in the air.
It's in the air.
Anyway.
Happy birthday.
She said they said happy birthday. So it's not staged,
Right.
Like jazz music in the background, everything going on. But anyway, once a month we come online just to hang out with some cool couples like yourself and just talk about some things we got going on. We just put some strategies together to keep this relationship going. Look, my mother's telling me to take the computer around the whole restaurant. See? She's the boss. And we just want to just get better at it because we don't work enough at it. We go to school for everything else except how to stay married. So we're intentional about it. We're glad that you couples tuned in to join us. Everybody else joining us. You can find out everything we're doing. CouplesUnitedATL.com, right? And that's where everything is. But anyway, why don't you introduce our guests and just see who we have and what they got going. We'll start with you.
Okay, Brittany and Mark, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? How long you guys have been married?
I couldn't hear you.
She wants you to tell how
How long you guys been together? Got any kids? Married?
Yes. We've been married for 5 years.
That's it.
We've known each other for over almost 10 years.
Yeah, 10 years.
Yeah. We have 3 children together. Well, 2 together.
Can y'all hear us?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. 2 together and 1 from a previous relationship.
Okay, awesome.
Great. And I know that you were able to join us in person last month at Oasis. What is one thing you learned last month?
Spaghetti. I learned about spaghetti. It's a lot in that spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
Yeah, and I learned to not talk to him like a girlfriend. And just, if it's something that I need him to solve, then I'm going to talk to him about it. But if it's not, if I just want to vent, I'm just not going to talk about it.
Nice. Great. Thanks again for joining us. And we have Ronnie and Venus Thomas. Can you introduce yourselves? I know you guys are entrepreneurial minded, so I'd love to hear about your efforts and tell us how long you've been married, how many kids, all that.
Yeah. Actually, 15 years, February 1st. We've been knowing each other since middle school. So we've been well acquainted with each other for some time now. We have 3 wonderful children, a 3-year-old son and a 10 and 14-year-old daughters. Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
Yes, we hear you.
We just put on mute so you didn't have to hear all that background wow.
It's all good. Yeah, so we've been together for a while, man. We dated as kids. We had to get reacclimated as adults. And we have committed to making sure that we spend the rest of our life together and create, memories and continue to build our family.
Not any more kids though.
Can I ask you a question? What is that behind you?
What's behind us?
Behind you, yes.
Yeah, so Foundwear Science is our family business.
Okay.
We provide a K-12 STEM enrichment. I'm an educator myself. So we provide a variety of K-12 STEM enrichment programs and resources. We provide online classes, summer camps, weekend camps, birthday parties, live science shows. We also ship out science kits to the house also. And, we have a deep passion for, science education and making sure that kids have a positive interaction early with learning science.
Awesome. Amazing. I guess we can get that, Dana, put on the website, or we can. Yeah.
And Venus, some entrepreneurial efforts.
So, as we said, we have kids, and 2 out of the 3 of our kids have eczema, which we know is pretty common, and we know it's a variety of issues. But after years of using steroid creams and expensive Aquaphor, and you only get $1 off with the coupon, I just kind of shifted to making our own products. And so I started making body butters, and our oldest daughter, who suffers from acne, she thought she was the only kid who ever had acne. And I started making activated charcoal face bars, and it just kind of evolved into other things. Scrubs, body massage oils for those who, need a little extra moisturization for date night, external use only. So I always like to say that because I don't want to be responsible for anybody.
Right.
I'm saying,
right?
But I have to say, external use only, but just family friendly products. I started making them and giving them to friends and family just to get some real feedback. Because I think, your friends and family will tell you like, no, this ain't working. Right. I started giving them to coworkers, and it just kind of evolved into a brand. So we've added 365 Body Love, which is the name to the business. And we've transitioned from buying store brand soaps and lotions to I make everything, even from our hair butter that we use on our hair.
Awesome. That's nice.
That's awesome. Anybody out there with skin challenges? Sounds like you guys have the perfect.
Not just skin challenges, just for daily moisturization. The biggest
fact is gasoline I've been using all these years.
Yeah, I would recommend petroleum. Hey, no judgment.
My mother was like, "What are we talking about over here?"
Right. Like, conversation.
Start to realize that a lot of the stuff that they put in the products we use in our skin, we can't pronounce without looking it up on Google. And we don't know what it does to our skin over time. And I know a lot of people say, well, it's convenient. I go to the grocery store, I can pick up my lotion. If that works for you, that's fine. But I think if we, it's just like what we eat. If we continue to just fill our bodies with junk food, over time, we'll eventually have health issues. And just like we have to take care of our body inside, we also have to take care of our skin outside. So that was the reason why, I continue to do research. This isn't something that I just popped up and did. Like, This is a late night researching what works, what doesn't work business. So yeah, so we have butters for everyday use, facial cleansers, everything.
Great. Well,
That's awesome.
the links and I'll post that. Charlinda, tell us what you were up to tonight.
Okay, first of all, I don't look as fabulous as Dana. I had a workout class, curvancing myself. So, and I realized I'm a little out of shape. I need to start off with baby steps and get myself back together. First of all, I want to say happy Valentine's Day to everybody. It's the big day is tomorrow. We were talking a little offline earlier. So start having your things on Sunday before the Valentine's Day or a couple of days to save some money. But I want to say happy Valentine's Day to my husband. He's not here. He's rehearsing. They have a big show tomorrow. So in his absence, I just want to, just speak on, I know the subject tonight, y'all, is how to fall out of love. So, I was thinking to myself, like, how to fall out of love. I know Stephen got a great message for this, but I can remember back a couple years ago, I was at that point. I was at 1,000 out of love. I mean, just at the end of our rope, really wanting to call it quits, going through just so much. The devil was really at us, tugging on us. And I think I was at that point of falling out of love. And I can say without praying friends and, going to church and just staying prayed up and having, the Couples United really built Q and myself back up, because I mean, it's so easy to get to that point and not really pour back into your relationship. So for me, I want to hear what Stephen have to say about that falling out of love, because I know I was at that point, and I guess the preventive part of not getting to that point or just working on your relationship. And I just want to say to you, I do have a natural nail salon, so I do use products. And you said that you said about having products that you can't even pronounce the ingredients on. And I just want to say I applaud that, because my sister and myself is 2 Nail Salon and Company. We do have a product that we just came out with as well. But and it's a natural product for your skin. You have to take care of the skin. Is the first thing you see on the outside, the eczema, all different ailments now that we probably can't even pronounce, that we didn't even have as kids back in the day. But just the product of having the salon, I use as much natural products that you can use in your kitchen. But getting back to the subject, Stephen, you got to preach a word to me so I know what to do, how I can stay in this good space that Q and I are in right now. And I thank God for that, because like I said, I do know it's so familiar of falling out of love and getting to the last leg and really wanting to give up.
Thank you, Charlinda, for sharing. You guys did the workout along with one of our wonderful couples coaches. This is Torch Fitness. Shout out to Torch Fitness. We couldn't make it because we weren't in town. Thank God.
We got something for you. No, we got another day planned for y'all to come. Oh. When you back in town, we're going to check the schedule and we're going to plan it on your day off.
We going to hot yoga. Anyway, Kingmaker, what's happening? Hey, how was the workout? How was the workout?
The workout was great. First of all, good evening to everybody. Kevin and Dana, we saved a workout just for you all. So when you come back, he's already agreed that he didn't want you to miss out on the love that we were able to share tonight. All the way around, I get excited about our online sessions because it allows us to tap into a group and a target that we don't get a chance to tap into in the live setting. And to just be totally honest, as a preacher of the gospel, I'm excited because I get a chance to hear my brother, Stephen Thurston, who has always a unique lens as a relationship expert. And all of us need to be fed by somebody who's amazing. And there's no way that whether you're single, dating, divorced, struggling, hooked up, waiting, or married, that you don't find yourself in a position where you need greater insight about relationships. So I look forward to it because I get a chance to learn something, be poured into, and interact with people that we may never run into or never see. Charlinda and myself saw a couple today who came out to our live session and they were so excited because she was one of the couples that came to represent her husband because he was working. And she talked about how the handout turned into such an empowering conversation at the dinner table.
Yes.
That Couples United was impacting and changing her life and the life of her husband. They're expecting a child in April. So we're reaching people that we don't recognize. They're already counting time for our next live, and they weren't even aware that we were on for the hangout. So they were really, really excited. So hopefully they're tuning in, and we're just grateful for the impact that we're making with Couples United. So I'm excited, and I'm ready to hear about how to fall out of love.
Right. When Pastor Stephen first said how to fall out of love, I said, this is the love month.
Right. That's
the love. We need to get the love going and cracking. I don't want to hear nothing negative.
Listen, he's real, he's raw, he's relevant.
Couple, Ronnie,
Marquise and Brittany.
Marquise and Brittany.
Yo,
no, hold each other's hand during this part, all right? Don't fall out of love. Pastor Thurston, what's up, Doc?
What's up, sir? Good to be here with you guys.
Welcome again to another wonderful, exhilarating, refreshing, educating online session. We can't wait. Take it away.
Cool. Always good to be here with you guys at Couples 412. Look forward to coming down to Atlanta, and make sure, Convance, my schedule does not allow me to come when y'all working out, because I saw how you were sweating, Charlinda. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I could tell that was killing y'all. All right, so I know there's great anticipation about what I'm gonna drop on you tonight. And Charlinda, actually, you and Q inspired me to write this piece. I put this piece together.
Good.
Since you put it out there, I figured I'd be honest. As I was walking with you guys through some of your marital issues, this piece came about. And so I thought that it might be helpful for people in whatever stage of relationship they're in, be it married, be it dating, divorce, single, looking for a boo, whatever you doing, wherever you are. Hopefully what I share tonight will impact your life. And let's dive into it, how to fall out of love. So I look at it from this lens. I'm a car guy. I love my cars. I love my motorcycles. And one of the key things that I have to do with my vehicles is what is called preventative maintenance. And so we do preventative maintenance on our cars, on our houses, for those who ride motorcycles, on our bikes. But here's the question that I often ask myself. Why do so many people not perform preventative maintenance on their life, especially within the realm of their relationship? We do preventative maintenance on things while they're still working in an effort to keep them from breaking down unexpectedly. And I believe that if, as couples, as individuals and as couples, if we would do some preventative maintenance on our relationships, maybe we could keep them from getting to the place where Charlinda indicated a few minutes ago, her relationship between her and Q had reached that point of, we at the finish line, I'm walking away, this thing is done, it's over. Dive in tonight and lean into this concept of falling out of love, because I want to show you what it looks like so that you'll know that, hey, this is happening. This is the stage that we're in, and this is what we'll need to do to address the issue and to shift out of this space of falling out of love and falling back into love. I hope that makes sense. So I want us to understand that falling out of love, number one, it can be avoided if you know the process you go through in order to see your love die. So when you start to see signs of a cold or a flu, what do? If you were raised like I was raised, you get some cod liver oil, you get some apple cider vinegar, you get some vitamin C, you start pouring that stuff into your body to cut off, to stop, to thwart those issues of cold and flu. So when the death of love begins, there's a gradual loss of emotional attachment towards the other person. That's how you know that you're beginning this phase of falling out of love. And oftentimes this is a result of a high degree of relationship dissatisfaction. You'll begin to notice that you stop caring as much, or you'll stop doing what you did to get that particular person. You start to tolerate them rather than celebrate them. And now this gulf is created between the two of you. And it's called emotional distancing. You start to shut off, you start to shut down. You'll notice that you've got a whatever attitude about stuff. It is what it is. You just don't care like you used to. And you reach a place where all you feel towards the other person that you're in relationship with is apathy and indifference. Now, the good news is that the death of love is both preventable and predictable. So that's why we've got to pay attention to the signs so that we'll notice it, we'll see it, because you know, if you don't face it, you'll never be able to fix it. And if you don't pay attention to it, stuff can get way out of line real quick, and it could possibly lead you to a place where there is no turning back. There is no recovery. There is no resurrection. And so my challenge to us tonight as couples is to begin to engage in some preventative maintenance. Your question is, Stephen, how do I do that? Let me show you the phases of falling out of love so that you'll begin to notice them. You can recognize them. Or maybe if you are in one of the phases and you didn't know what was going on, you just felt something funky in a relationship. Now you can put words to it. So the first phase of falling out of love is, number one, disillusionment. This is where it all starts. This is where it all begins. And actually, it happens in every relationship. The key thing for disillusionment, and that is where we come down to the reality and we break out of any infatuation. We really need to do that. Now, this is for those who are single, those who are dating, and maybe engaged. You need to come out of this place of disillusionment before you say I do, before you jump over that broom. You need to see what she looked like with no makeup on. You need to smell his morning breath. You need to get this picture out of your mind that they the greatest, that everything is perfect, that the sun is always shining on their life. No, come out of that place, because this can lead you to a place where you begin to fall out of love. All right. So what causes disillusionment? Expectations at the end of the day. At the core of any disagreement, any friction in a relationship, it all boils down to unfulfilled expectations. And so the higher the level of your expectation, the more you're building your relationship on idealism. And the more your expectations aren't met, the more disappointment you'll suffer in your relationship. And so let me encourage those who haven't said I do yet to do a couple of things. Number one, take plenty of time to get to know the other person. Number two, talk in depth and discover and evaluate that other person and their expectations. Because as you discover and evaluate the expectations of the other person, those could lead to being deterrents and cause you to stop something before you get too deep into a relationship. Well, my homegirl says it this way: Avery Sunshine, you go your way, I go mine, and I see you when you get there. And sometimes that's what we need to do. And it's only by having a period of evaluation and discovering what the expectations of the other person that we can make that final determination. Now, that ain't for you married folk, because I'm trying to keep y'all together. But if you're in the stage where you're not yet there of saying I do, you really want to have some serious conversations and make sure that you as a couple have shifted out of the place of disillusionment. You have true and realistic expectations of each other. The second stage of falling out of love is an area called hurt. So this is when your feelings begin to die. Hurt then becomes the next phase. The feelings in this place include loneliness. You feel that you're being treated unfairly and unjustly by the other person. And you now feel this sense of loss. Your mind, it begins to swing into high gear with our programmed tendency to focus on the negatives. From a psychological perspective, this is called splitting. And with splitting, you either see something or someone is all good or all bad. It doesn't matter the fact that we got some bad and good in us. How we see the other person will be all bad or all good. And you'll start seeing yourself as the victim. Doesn't matter what they do, what efforts they try to make, you see yourself as a victim. You begin to think about what the relationship is costing you and what you're getting out of it. You don't feel that your needs are being met. You're not seeing any return on your investment. It's not that great. And then your mind begins to wonder, why did I marry them? They wasn't really no good. She wasn't really, I've really done this. Let me warn you. You start thinking, that person that I dated before I got with them, that probably would have been the better option. This is where your mind begins to go when you're in this state of being hurt. You begin to look at other people's relationships and judge your relationship based on theirs. Paul's right there, because sometimes the grass looks greener on the other side, all because it's artificial turf. So you don't want to make the mistake of juxtaposing and comparing your relationship to somebody else's, because you really don't know what's happening on the other side of it to cause the grass to look as green as it does. You move from disillusionment. Phase number 2 is hurt. Phase number 3 is the negative nature. That's what I want to call it, the negative nature, because we all have this inclination towards negative thinking. If you need some Bible to back that up, Genesis 6, verse number 5 speaks to this particular point. And there's a strong interrelationship that we need to understand among our thoughts, our feelings, and our behaviors, which then reinforce each other. All of it's connected. All of it is a cyclical pattern. Hence, we've got to monitor what's on our mind. We've got to monitor what's on our mind and how we see the other person that we're in relationship with, because thoughts, both positive and negative, grow stronger when they're fertilized with constant repetition. What you marinate your mind in will manifest. And so if your thoughts are negative towards your partner, you'll always see their actions, their intentions as negative. As my dad likes to say, and this word is not in Webster's dictionary, it's made up, so just go with it. My dad suggests to me, Stephen, you've got to develop a good forgettery. Yeah, Forgettery. If you're going to have a sustainable relationship, you've got to develop a good forgettery, because that other person is going to do some stuff that's going to piss you off, that's going to rub you the wrong way. But guess what? You've also done some stuff that have pissed them off and rubbed them the wrong way. And you've got to forget those things which are behind you and press forward towards the mark. You got to keep pressing forward and looking for the future of your relationship at some of the dumb stuff that has taken place in the relationship, whether you caused it or they caused it. The next phase is anger. This is the most common response when we feel hurt. Anger also arises when expectations aren't being fulfilled. And so there's this frustration that you're feeling in your relationship, possibly. It's really the precursor to anger. So I'm letting you know that's a warning sign you need to pay attention to. As the disappointment and the hurt continue in the relationship, you'll tend to obscure the love that was once there. That love, the butterflies, the warm feelings, the desire to talk to them and be with them, that's all hazy. That's all blurry at this state. And there's no evidence that you were once head over heels for this particular person. The feelings at this stage in the relationship, they can actually be described as resentment or indignation or even bitterness, which all will deaden the feelings of love that you once had for this person. That really is. Anger is an anesthesia for the pain that you're really feeling as a result of your love beginning to die. That anger helps you to mask some stuff. And so your focus is on now what your partner has or has not done. And now the blame game starts. It's consistent. You start nitpicking. You start making mountains out of molehills. Resentment starts eating away at your love, just like termites would eat away at some wood. Hurt and anger then make us and shift us to this place where we're vulnerable to finding need fulfillment elsewhere. Ring, ring, clue, clue. This is where affairs come in, because our emotional needs aren't being met. Then that then leads us to the place where our physical needs aren't being met, because we've disconnected from our partner, both physically and emotionally. And let me help you to understand something about cheating. Cheating has nothing to do with the physical for the most part, especially for men. It all begins with the emotional. The physical follows the emotional. When the emotional tank isn't being filled up, that opens the door for somebody else to start filling it. And as we spend more time with that individual, it opens up the door for the physical. That's another lesson for another time. So let me keep moving. After the stage of anger in a relationship, we then shift to a stage of ambivalence. Feelings at this stage and at this time in the relationship reflect as they shift back and forth between despair and hope for both the relationship and the person. It's in this stage that you start feeling like you're schizophrenic, like you're bipolar, like you're on a seesaw, because we start wondering, well, what will it take for the relationship to work? Or would it be best if I just get out of this thing? So we are aware of, and we think about how the relationship would damage or impact other people that are connected to the relationship. And so on Sunday, you in church, you praying, God, I know you're going to work it out. We're meant to be together. This is the devil. This is the enemy. And then come Monday morning, to hell with them. I don't want to be bothered with them. You know, your conversation is shifting depending on who you're talking to and what time of day you're talking about the relationship, because you're really confused and there's a battle going on in your mind, whether or not you should stay or you should go. At this point, you're confused, starting to count up the cost of the relationship. If I leave, am I going to get the house? They're going to take my 401k. You start planning all this out. Am I still going people? Can I still go to Couples United? They gonna look at me crazy if we break up. That's where you are when you're at the stage of ambivalence. After that, the next stage and the final stage is the death of love. The death of love. The only feelings that are left now reflect the death of the love that once existed within the relationship. You both had hope for a happy, fulfilling relationship. You're just reflecting upon that because all of those feelings are dead. They're gone. There's total dissatisfaction. There's a total disconnection, indifference, detachment, and apathy, if not downright loathing, or what you have replaced with love. Now, avoidance is all you want to do at all costs. Don't want to see them, don't want to talk to them. You've blocked them on all social media. If you run across somebody that's wearing the same perfume as her, you get an attitude with this stranger, and that stranger, they ain't never done nothing to you. You don't want to have nothing to do with it. And that's where you are. But there's some good news that I'll close out with tonight. There is hope for healing. If you find yourself at any one of these stages in your relationship, moving towards the place of falling out of love, please know that God does have a future for your relationship. But it must be a cooperative effort on the part of God, the man, and the woman. It takes all of those parties functioning together to lead towards a sustainable, successful, healthy, and whole relationship. Everybody got to be all in, sacrificing at all costs to make the relationship work. So if you see yourself in any of these stages, there's hope. The relationship doesn't have to end at the dead end. You can turn this thing around. You can make a shift in the relationship. You just got to be able to see where the signs are and then make the necessary shifts and pivots in your life and in your relationship. And I promise, if you become a better version of yourself, you'll have a better relationship. Because once you change what's within you, you'll begin to change everything that's around you. Couples United, that's my time tonight. Thank you for your time. Hope you got something out of what I had to share.
Amen. Amen. Well, Stephen, I guess I can say Q and I, we're delivered. We're not perfect, but we're delivered.
I've been delivered. Yes. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. Anyway. You smell like something. Wait a minute. No, I'm just playing. Thank you very much. We're not falling out of love over here. We're falling in love 100%. 100%. Ronnie.
What's up, buddy?
How you feeling?
How you doing, man? Long day, short night. This is good stuff, though. I think what you said earlier, Pastor, is right on, man. We take care of everything else, our cars. We take care, we get extended warranty plans on TVs. Like we put time and effort into everything except, many times in our relationships.
Yes, sir.
Sorry for the delay, people. Marquise, you still with us, baby?
Yeah, we still here.
It's time for a PDA moment, everybody. Just one little quick Valentine. Get a little love. See how you feeling. How you loving up on each other over there.
Public display of affection. Kevin, you didn't tell them.
Oh, I'm sorry.
See, they looking like, what y'all talking about? Everybody
they was rubbing each other's feet underneath the table.
Yeah, we been over here publicly, privately.
Some fun science. Hey, Ronnie, the question from the internet was, did you blind her with science when y'all first met?
No, I didn't get into science, man, until later on in my career, man. But she went to school with my stepsister, and she had a picture in her wallet, like who's a little cute guy, and from there, man, we just continued to keep in contact. And matter of fact, I'm gonna find a picture and share the screen of us back in the day. So keep talking. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna come back and share that picture with you guys.
Oh, see, science guys, they know how to
be fancy, right?
They know how to get the technology. If you just tuned in, it's Couples United. You're gonna have to listen back. We're talking about how not to fall out of love. Really, you gotta stay in love.
Oh, Q
Parker. I heard his name come up. Look, a PDA moment came up. Look who popped up. What's up? How you doing, brother?
Baby, cut the light on so we can see you. Cut the light on.
Your husband.
There you go, baby. She got the workout face. Where did he go? Okay, Kevin, go ahead. I think he Stephen or Curvance.
They're
Oh, that's
meeting and greeting. I think they're meeting and greeting.
Being celebrities.
Yeah, you know, that's one of our celebrity couples, our celebrity travel couples.
Right. Well traveled.
Very well traveled couples. I think it is impactful, and we're glad that we have Q Parker on. One of the things that was big about what Pastor Thurston was speaking about is the reality that near the end of his point, he was talking about how relationships tend to die, and it's literally the end step to the lack of maintenance that we put in everywhere else. And one of the things that the term death generally means from a Greek standpoint is separation. And it is very interesting that many of us are not going towards the space of divorce, or we're not going towards the space of being disconnected. But when we are not doing the maintenance, we're literally finding our relationships, our love, and our spouses close to death in our lives. And I think the challenge is we've got to get to the place where we think enough of their life that we never find ourselves at death. We've got to get to the point where we are willing to value the life that God has given us in each individual that we have. And for those of us who are not even married, when you're looking to find somebody, the key has to be making sure they're supposed to be in your life. I think a big thing is we put people in our lives that's not supposed to be there. So many of us are dying because we've been connected to people who we're not supposed to be living with anyway. But I think this piece is very important the day before Valentine's Day, that we're finding ourselves with people who give us life, so that when the maintenance gets low and things are not in place the way we would like them to be, we work on eliminating separation, eliminating death, and always nurturing life. So I was extremely blessed by Pastor Thurston's message. And if we learn how to fall out of love, it'll often keep us in love, because we talk about being in love so much that without the warning signs, that thing that tells you check engine, that things that tell you your battery is low, your tires are low, that's what makes you maintain. So thank you, Pastor Thurston, for this amazing, amazing message, man.
Man, that was awesome. We're still in the restaurant. They putting us out. We said we're not leaving because we got the United thing we doing. Look, we done cleared out. Actually, it's called Out of Bees. You can't see it if you're in the Baltimore area. One of the few black-owned restaurants down here. Q Parker, what's up, boy? Can you hear me?
Yo. Okay, there we go.
All right.
Can y'all hear me? What's up, family?
What's happening, Doc?
I am just great, man. Great. I'm sorry, guys. I was tired. We just finished the sound check. But I definitely wanted to get, even if I got the last little bit, I wanted to just check in. I wanted to add something. I didn't get a chance to hear the message, but I can kind of piece together what Curvance was just talking about, the importance of the maintenance. You know, if we treat our relationships like we treat everything else. I am a shoe fanatic, right? So one of the things I teach my son is every time you wear your shoes, when you take them off, wipe them down just to make sure they stay in good condition. Well, the same thing can apply to your relationships. We have to make sure that we are maintaining and doing the necessary steps. And a lot of times, maintenance don't come easy. When your check engine light comes on, you can't just snap your finger. Well, they probably making an app that you can do that, but it requires you to make arrangements for your car to be serviced, which means you have to call somebody, make an appointment, take it there. You may have to be late for work. You may miss this appointment. You may have to do this, rearrange this, but you're gonna make sure that you get that car in for service, because tomorrow you need it to operate at its peak level. And I think if we just kind of have that mentality when we're dealing with our relationships, we put ourselves in a position to have healthy relationships. So that's something that Charlene and I have committed to, that on a daily basis we do checks. I go back to the car example that Vance did. Like nowadays, cars, you can press a button and it'll give you all the levels of what needs to be improved. It'll tell you when the oil is low just by pressing a button, and it'll give you all the things, not just the oil. It'll tell you the tire pressure and all that. So we have one of those type of buttons in our relationships that can always give us the signs of when something needs to be maintained. I think it'll make for us to have a better relationship. So I just want to shout out my wife today. What's up, baby?
Hey, wait a minute, man. Before we go any further, is this a 112 travel or are you in revival? Because what you just gave me sounded like some preaching response. That was you. I think you doubling as a revivalist while you're out there, brother.
Hey man, I'm always in mode, man. It just depends it depends on what mode, what hat I'm wearing.
My.
I heard you loud and clear, Q. And tonight, when I take my wife's clothes off, I'm gonna wipe it down.
Mama,
you gotta wipe it down. That's what she said.
Man, I
heard him. This was better than my wife. Gotta wipe it down.
Days of that body butter.
Love month. I'm falling in love deep tonight.
I love it. Your body butter.
I love it.
Move from the pillow to the pillow right away. That's good. Okay, Kev. All right.
Hey, let me tell you something, Kevin.
Great.
I love your lighting tonight, brother.
Hey, man.
The lighting is excellent.
I've been working on the lighting, Doc. I brought a team in for this one.
Great. We're learning how to. Hey, Ronnie, the science guy. I know you got your lighting together.
Straight.
Did you your backdrop and everything? Look. Did you get your picture? Did you find your picture?
Yeah, I got it right here. Man, I'm gonna share with you guys.
All right, we're waiting on it.
So that's us right there, man. Back in the day.
Oh, cute.
Yeah,
cute.
You look like you was eating the donut. I saw you.
Church, man, he's chicken or something back there.
Love it.
We love it, man.
That is so nice.
Thank you for sharing, brother.
Nice.
Thank you for sharing.
Thank
you for sharing.
He fancy.
Very cool.
Shaw, go ahead, put up one of our pictures.
Oh, that's me.
What you guys do?
I do that. He gonna have to give us a class on that.
Marquis?
Huh?
What you guys doing special for Valentine's for the love month?
I got a surprise. But it's not a costly thing. It's not nothing material. It's something dope. I think it's dope. I think she's gonna appreciate it. Because I put a lot of thought into it.
That's all that matters.
Put a whole lot of thought into it. And I was like, that's it. It's genius. So I think it's going
we can't wait to hear it.
Like when I really put my mind into it, like I'm really good at that type of stuff. So this one.
So let's pose this to the ladies real quick. Ladies, do you like it when we just get a gift or when we put thought into it?
Thought into it.
The thought into it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
What makes it of course?
I like when a person thinks outside of the box, like they actually put thought behind it. That's what I like about it.
Fellas?
It doesn't have to be anything or showing me something new. It doesn't have to be anything materialistic, but thinking outside of the box and putting thought to it means more.
Right. Like that episode
it's more
of Martin.
Personal. Yeah,
like that episode of Martin where he forgot, that was when he forgot it was their anniversary.
Right.
So he went and got the scoop. Watch Martin? Nobody watch Martin? He went and got the
So
scoop.
I guess
No. Okay.
You can't just run out the bathroom naked, fellas, this year in Valentine's Day. Ta-da! That's
me.
That's not working. Curvance. Baby girl, how you doing, darling?
Hey. Hi. Let me get some of this.
Okay.
Cutie.
So this is Couples United. We're gonna get last words. We're trying to be respectful for the time. They really want to put me out this restaurant, but I'm like, I'm trying to hang on because I have the connection to the internet. So we're gonna give last words, last thought. About what we're going on. Q, how you on time? You good on time? Okay. So Ronnie, You guys, any last words? Anything you want to share? How to, not fall out of love? Something that you guys have implemented. How long you guys been married again?
15 years.
15. Yeah, something that you can just pass along to us.
I mean, so we still learning, man. I will say it's a full-time job, right? Like, you have to really work toward, and like I said, we have by no means reached the pinnacle or have the cure-all. I mean, we still have struggles, we still have, obstacles that come up in our relationship, but we have made a commitment that whatever comes up, that we're gonna work through it. But communication, I think the change factor for us is when we started praying for each other and with each other out loud. So, I could, say you make me sick, but I can pray like, dear Lord Jesus, please work with my wife when she's being difficult and being stubborn and things, so I mean, that was a big change for us, praying together and for each other out loud.
That's awesome. I think my wife, I'm sorry, dog. Go ahead.
Learning, I think too, the further along you get is just learning to pick your battles. I think early on when you first start, any little thing will take you over the edge. From you washing clothes and you just go through the clothes. And I mean, just learning to really pick your battle, what's really important, and, learning to take you out of the situation, but seeing it from the other person's perspective. And just basically just picking your battles, what is really worth getting upset over.
And we still working on this now. So, we have not perfected by any means. But, that's the trajectory, we're aiming for.
Hey, you guys said something cool, and you used the CU, but you did it backwards. You said taking you out of it and then seeing what you can make happen. We might have to put that CU in there or UC in there, because that was really good. Danny, you had a question?
Yeah, for Marquise and Brittany. Seems like one of the suggestions that Pastor Stephen had for us was to get to know each other better. So when we have those opportunities where we want to fall out of love, that we can hold on to those times. So can you give us some examples of how you got to know each other better early on in your relationship?
Dates. I think on certain dates, the intimacy. Like I learn new things about her all the time that I'd be surprised about. Like just recently, we were just laying down in bed and she just out of the blue was like, "Hey, let me tell you something new that you didn't know about me." I was like, "Oh, okay. Pretty almost 10 years. This something new." So that was something, but it was cool because it was like, all right, that's exciting to know that I don't know it all. Like, I don't ever want to get to a point where I start feeling like there's no part of you that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no growth. So I think that's the moments where out of the blue where that happens. I think that's where it's dope.
Very cool. Anything else? She was like, I shared it out of the blue. I did it.
You know what, Stephen? I like the new words you introduced us to, forgettery. And I thought of a word. See if I can pronounce it. Expectangry. Because if I don't get what I expect, I get angry.
Angry. Oh, good one.
Yeah. She gonna get it tonight. That's
what I expect. I ain't gonna be angry.
Yeah, fun.
You can use that one, Steven.
I hope you meet your expectations, sir. All this talk you talking.
Final word. I want to congratulate you, Shalinda, one more time for representing us on the workout. I know that ain't really what you like to do, neither me, but guess what? You went there. You went and represented.
And I got to post those videos. Those are great.
You represented. Final words.
When you said which one to post, I said I look crazy on anyone, so pick your choice. Okay, everyone hit the nail on the head for me, but I just want to say be patient with one another. That's one thing Q and I had really been working on, and I think if you start with the patience first, and then you can think about what's happening and what's going on and come out with a different resolve than not being patient. So I'll pass it on to somebody else. So patience is the word for us.
Man, I took 2 years of love and patience. I took 2 years with our new children because we're a blended family, and that's what it took. Q Parker, my brother.
I think what Marquise, is that right?
Yeah.
Marquise, what you guys mentioned was very, very important. Just always wanting to learn new things. And then the other couple, I think, said something really, really dope. You can't argue when you're in prayer. And one of the things that Charlene and I learned to do was to also pray out loud, because it also lets the person know what you really want for them. It's not really a stab or taking a dig, but if you're looking for your spouse to respond in any way, what better way to get a response than through prayer? So I think that that's something that we know firsthand, and obviously you guys have just spoken about it, because it really, really works. My mom used to sing this song, "Everything to God in Prayer." That's an old Kojic record. Everything to God in prayer. Take everything, and you'll find the clarity. You'll get understanding, and you can't argue through prayer. You just can't argue through prayer. So yeah.
I think we could probably find a way.
Right. I'm gonna say
Final words. That's a good word, Brother Parker.
We used to fight with verses. That's
Y'all used to fight with verses. Thou shalt not. The fraud, ma.
That's cute.
Stephen, final words. Few seconds left.
Yeah, so I think it all boils down to us working on ourselves. We so often look at the other person and want to fix the other person and control the crazy or the drama that comes from the other person. Stop doing that, because you're not going to win. It's only when you change you and work on you that you'll see a change in the totality of your relationship. That's my challenge. Become the best version of you, and you'll have a better relationship.
Amen. Amen. Kingmaker, final words. Hey, sweetheart.
Hey, man, I think don't be a hater, Q.
Yeah, because Dana and Kevin got some business to take care of.
It's really I've been telling you. At the end, I think this is a big thing, and Stephen has helped me with this, and it's something that I've coined for this year. Learn how to stand in the other person's shoes with their feet. Again, learn how to stand in the other person's shoes with their feet. Why is that important? Because when you stand in the other person's shoes with your feet, if they're wearing a size 6 and you wear a size 12,
wow,
you've already become disgruntled or turned off because you don't fit the shoe.
Mama,
you get a chance to encounter what they're dealing with. You don't understand where they are. You don't understand their circumstances. But if you put their feet on, stand in their shoes, you deal with everything that they're going through. So before you get frustrated with your spouse, stand in their shoes with their feet, and you'll get a totally different response to their circumstances.
Amen. Amen. Don't you miss those days when your baby was that little and could just get in your arms like that? If you just tuned in, this is Couples United, hanging out with some of the coolest couples all over the world. We do this once a month, once online, and then once live in Atlanta. You want to tell us what we got coming up
this month? We switched it up on y'all, but this month on February 27th from 7 to 9 at Oasis Atlanta, we're going to have Love and Games. It's the Nearly Newlywed Game. It's food from Chef Gernard. It will be music by DJ Impeccable. And I hear, Q, are you going to be serenading on the 27th?
I stay at the ready position. So
all right. We'll have a great time.
And me and Cavan's gonna help you. Everything in prayer.
No. They'll have a brand new number 112 if y'all let me do it. I promise you. you go.
Ronnie
and Venus
and Marquise
and Brittany.
It was awesome that you guys.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
But intentional
every Friday night too.
It's what?
Friday nights at 9 p.m. Payne's on OWN Network. I play Ryan Payne.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, send us that, please.
Yeah, send us that link
to me.
So y'all right away. Family funny, so you can watch it with your children and all that. It's a good show.
Oh, cool.
Awesome.
Dope.
Dope. Thanks for hanging out with us. Thanks for being intentional.
I'm going to plug myself, but hopefully you don't see me. You don't have to come to Emory.
Awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Marquise, I want to connect with you, man. So, Vance, not Vance, but Steven, Kevin, if you guys can connect us, right? If you guys can connect us, I want to connect with Marquise.
Cool.
And the other brother too.
And Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike.
Yeah, I'm also a part of your Brothers United group too, Q. Yeah, I gotta get to one of those meetings, man. Dory and Thomas invited me in.
Yes, sir.
Dory. Yes.
Yeah, man. Yes. Okay. I want to make sure I get your number as well. So,
quick question. Let me ask you a question, Ronnie. Are your boxes like the Geek Squad? You get them monthly. Your science boxes?
So not right now. So the first one that we did was just a way to give parents a chance to bond at home with their kids. So we have an online class that we're starting in April. I'm going to ship out the stuff to the kids at home, and then we're going to meet every Sunday during the month of April and going through in a live video chat like this. But my ultimate goal is to work toward an archive set of lessons that people can go at their own pace and then work toward doing a monthly subscription box. Okay. So if anybody has any way they can help make that happen, we're totally open, man, to taking our passion to be able to get it out to everybody.
Awesome.
Okay,
awesome. We respect everyone
with our son. Okay.
What you say, Shaw?
I said we definitely want to connect with him with Quinnis.
Oh yeah. We gotta get the kids interested in science.
Yes.
And I'll post all of this information online into the group.
Thanks.
Awesome. Again, this is Couples United. We're hanging out. Couples United ATL Live. In case you missed everything, we got all of the Stephen's teaching, Cavance's teaching, strategies. Sometimes, like you said, we're not gonna get it all, but if you could just take that nugget and apply that, and then get this next nugget and work on mastering and applying that, you will see what happens tonight. Anyway,
so we didn't plug Sisters United, and I have a nail salon, you guys. 2 nail salon, all natural. So in West Midtown. So I had to get my plug in too.
Shout out to Love, everybody.
Yep.
Shout
all right. Happy Valentine's
Day. We see you at Loving Games. If you can make it, if you're in the ATL area. What's the date again?
February 27th, Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Awesome. Hey guys, when it warms up, we also DJ. I do outdoor movies too.
Oh, you know what, DJ? If you want to come DJ, you can come DJ. I can leave my equipment home, Ronnie.
Hey, but if you guys want to have an outdoor movie when it warms up, keep that in mind as well.
That would be fun.
Outdoor what?
Movie.
Yep, we do.
Outdoor movie. We definitely want to do that. Hey, guys, we love you. They're going to put me out this restaurant. And
peace.
Safe travels. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.